Hello and welcome to another episode of Never Onside. Hi, this is Joseph, and joining me as usual is Mayur. And in this video, we'll be previewing the coming game week and also reviewing the week that happened just now in this weekend. So, as the graphic suggests, the Reds and the Greens, United struggling after Casemiro got a red card, and it's kind of a recurring theme now. He has been sent off twice in the last 2 months, and Arsenal have really stepped up and performed really well in the match against Fulham. So we'll be going through their title challenge and also United and how they have dropped off recently. So let's move on to the matches that happened this game week. So the first match itself between Bournemouth and Liverpool, and everyone had so much high hopes for Liverpool. They were like Liverpool can absolutely destroy Bournemouth like they did last year. I think was it 7-8-9-0 that they won,
9-0.
and that was
Yes.
just a fluke as well, like similar to what happened with United. Everything that they tried went in for Liverpool in that game, if I remember correctly. I think there was a deflection from Firmino. There were so many deflected goals that went in that game, and I think they in the United match they rode all their luck, so they ran out of luck for this match, and eventually Bournemouth won the match. I was just actually chatting with someone that I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool loses this match after all the hype that they got for defeating United, for thrashing United. Yeah, and they were pretty ordinary, and Bournemouth showed grit and character, and they wanted that win more than Liverpool, and so that was that. And Everton winning against Brentford with a sole goal from McNeil. So these are all big results looking at the relegation battle. And Leeds versus Brighton was another sensational match. It was end to end. It was between two sides who were, really at it. Brighton were dominating initially, but Leeds grew into the game and they equalized twice to get away with the point. And Chelsea match. Do you watch the Chelsea match?
Yes. So interesting take from the Chelsea game. Leicester were actually quite good throughout the game, but couldn't get the end result. Madison,
Right.
a very key player, he was in and amongst the chances, played really well. But again, you can see the major difference in this Leicester side has been their defense. They haven't been able to get those players. Evans, who was the pillar throughout
Right.
their
Last year.
good years, yes, throughout their good years as well. We can see they have gotten on and got in phase, but he again like has been half decent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but he
so
makes mistakes a lot. Like he
make
got sent off in the game, I think.
yes, yes, he got sent off as well. So that was the crucial factor. But apart from that, Chelsea also defensively didn't look very good or anything. It was
Right.
just that on the day Leicester couldn't score those
Right.
into
Right.
goals, or it
I
would have
think
been easily.
KDH, Dewsbury Hall had a lot of chances. He missed the point blank shot, like he scuffed the lines. And I think Chelsea, everyone expected Chelsea to kind of step up now because we saw in the UCL how they performed. And good for them. They've scored. The big issue was scoring for them. I think Havertz scored. Um, I
Chilwell
think
scored.
Chilwell scored a stunning goal as well,
Yes.
and there was one more goal, I guess.
Kovacic scored.
Kovacic, yeah, with the volley. Yeah, right. So good for them. Finally, they are finding the back of the net. What I could gather with Chelsea's performance is whenever Havertz plays well, like Chelsea kind of like wins those matches, or they will score because he is a key player in terms of going forward. He has the capability, but he doesn't turn up every game. And also, Felix keeps getting like unlucky because he hit the woodwork after chipping Ward. But I think Chelsea will kind of grow into the Premier League slowly, because I think they have got a base now. Everyone has gelled a bit. Potter knows who to start, who to bench right now. At least he knows kind of the starting 11 that he really wants.
And probably a good time as well to win Champions League. Probably they know they can't do much in the Premier League, so it's a good platform for them to solely focus on Champions League, like they've done in the past few campaigns where when they
Right,
have won those matches, right? Tournament.
right,
So interesting point where they stand off in Premier League. They have shown some in some matches they can play well, but the continuity has been the main issue throughout
right.
this Chelsea side. So let's move on to the next game. Spurs Nottingham Forest host. You had the
Yeah, so it was a painful watch after Kane scored a brace, I think, and it was pure brilliance from Kane, and Nottingham Forest left it open. It's like a rookie mistake to be, affording so much space to a player like Kane. And once Son was on his bikes, he also scored. Like you rarely see Son scoring nowadays. So. Finally, a good performance from Spurs, but I think we all expected it against Nottingham Forest and their defense. Yeah. Moving on
the
to
next
the
game.
City match. This is a very interesting match. We knew it could be tough at Selhurst Park for Man City, but City came out of the blocks really well and they started playing very good football. But the thing was, against Crystal Palace, you have to take your chances. But Haaland missed a couple of chances which were really easy. He would have scored it in the initial half of the season, and I think Kevin De Bruyne recently did a press conference in which he said, towards the second half of the season, players and teams and coaches start to find out how you play, how a player like Haaland plays. They expect Haaland to score, so they kind of come up with plans to negate his threat, and that's what we are seeing him slowing down a bit. And also he has not been so Kevin De Bruyne was saying he has not been as prolific as he was in the initial part of the season. So that's why City are also struggling to score goals because I think this was a penalty that Haaland took, and it takes a lot of nerves to convert a penalty. But City could have won this 2 or 3 nil, and Crystal Palace. Usually, we expect them to create some chances on the break, but City were very good in defense as well. Yeah, and talking about title defense and playing really well, Arsenal, who are chasing City in terms of at least their title. Arsenal are sitting on top, pretty on top right now, and they are cruising. And against Fulham, they scored three very brilliant goals. You could see the passes, the movement, and all were fluid. After Arsenal, kind of dipped a bit in the last couple of weeks, but this was a very strong performance. Yeah, and the
Yes.
United match was one where Casemiro. What do you make of that tackle? Did you
I think
see it?
it's a red. I think it's a red. I can understand a lot of United fans were not happy with it. I can understand the consistency where they were showing some photos in the Chelsea game or some other game. I can understand the consistency is not the same, but on an individual basis, that is a red. I think.
Right. And also another issue that even Eric Ten Hag mentioned was that there was a clear handball in the penalty box, and I was surprised that it was not given as a penalty. It was so blatant. I have no idea how it was not given a penalty, and so it's just those consistency and like when you keep getting results like the decisions go against you consistently, that's what I'm sure that this match was completely in the refs hands to or else United could have won it even with 10 men.
Yeah, it
So
looked like
United,
they played
yeah,
really
yeah,
better
yeah,
with 10 men. They
yeah,
played
right,
really.
right. It's just that United are dropping off from the actual, actual action at the top end of the table. While around 3, 4 game weeks back, we were talking about United challenging for the title, and many, pundits also said don't count out United, but I don't think United are still in the race now. And moving on to, there are two matches that are left to be played: the Brighton Crystal Palace and Southampton Brentford match. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. A lot of our wildcarders are depending on that match to, kind of push points up after a bad game week last time out. Yeah, so let's move on to the
Yes,
other.
before we move on, Jose, I
Yeah,
just wanted to ask you one thing about United. So, so we have seen Tenak play a few tricks of his where he has been playing Weghorst as the number
right.
10. In this game, he has played Bruno as well, deeper on the wing sometimes. And
Right.
now in this game, he played Sancho in the center. So, I just wanted your thoughts about it, how it performed, like how it felt, and was it the right decision or something we can see Sancho being used for like more?
So I think he's trying to mix it up a little because against Liverpool we got found out very easily because he was deploying kind of the same tactics in which Bruno would drift to the right, Vegas could drop in, and Rashford would stay up, and even the wingers would sometimes swap. But the thing is, he has to keep on coming up with new ideas so that we United don't become predictable. I think that is something very clear about Eric Etiet's philosophy, that he keeps mixing it around when he thinks that his team is too predictable. So that is why it is happening, and also we don't have the right personals throughout the team as well for him to play his style of football. So basically, that's why he's trying out new things. And Sancho kind of played well in certain matches. I think it was against Leicester that he came on, played in the number 10 role, scored. But then in the next match, he struggled. And it doesn't bring out the consistency with players also when you ask them to do different roles. So I don't like Bruno playing on the right at all. And so it's difficult to say. It's the first season, so I can understand him experimenting a bit. Yeah,
Because he said in the post conference that like whoever plays number 10 needs to be defensively well versed, like he has to press, that was his first
right,
word.
right,
And then he said someone who has to be creative, and third was someone who can run behind the lines as well. So definitely something like he was thinking about it. We've seen Vegost can't run, but he's a good player when Dagia can't play ball behind, right? Dagia just loves to
right,
boot
right,
the ball, so Vegas is
right,
a good option. So we can see how he's like trying to use whatever he has and coming up, because as you
right,
said, when you attack with the same intentions, fluidity is also important. And we saw Sancho playing as number 10 was very fluid, where a lot of people change their position and were very fluid, just like we see Arsenal front four like to change their places and kind of thing. So
right.
it was an interesting point. I just wanted to
Yeah.
bring it on.